Peace. I'm Unique Vision Allah, and this is Conversation with God.
Let's talk about your family life. You have brothers and sisters?
I got 2 older brothers, 1 younger brother, and one younger sister.
Okay, so you're really the middle child, right?
Yeah, and my dad has a daughter, an older daughter, so I got an older sister also.
Oh.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
What was life like with all those children in the house? I mean, were you guys pretty close, or you butt heads a lot, or what was it like?
Like, I always kind of felt alone, you know what I mean? I had 2 younger, 2 older, so I was always in the middle. So, like, you know, my older brothers, they'd always be gone, or they'd make moms upset or something like that, and then it falls on me. My little brother and little sister do something, it falls on me. I was the one right in the middle, you know what I'm saying? So.
Okay, so you pretty much had to probably look after the little ones, and then the other, you know, the older ones were already out and doing their own thing.
Like my mom's, she like took care of all her sister kids too. So like my little cousin stuff, they always came stay with us and things like that. And yeah, so I kind of looked after all the little ones.
Do you feel like you had to grow up a little bit too fast because of that, or you just always had like a sense of maturity about yourself that?
Yeah, I just had a sense of maturity, like, and I always like, it's something about like the younger, like if it, you know, I've been through a lot, so like my family and any like younger kid or something like that, I've just try to help them so they don't have to go through the things that I went through. You know what I mean? So I was always trying to teach them. Like, you know, hey, you do that right there, that might be your consequence, man. You might not want to do that. Rethink that one.
Right. All right. So where did you grow up?
I grew up in Long Beach.
Okay, like explain the because I know there's like
different sides.
Side.
So I grew up on the east side of Long Beach.
Okay.
Then but my mom ended up moving us out here to Lakewood to get away from all the little madness that was going on out there.
How old were you when you came over here?
I was like, say, I came to school kindergarten.
Okay.
But I had so much family that's on the east side and stuff like that, so I'm always there still too, though. Like, I was always there.
Historically speaking, like, what's the significance of East Long Beach as far as just what it's known for? That's
where Snoop represented, you know what I mean? Like, so like when you see them on top of the VIP records, that's where that was.
Okay. So east side of Long Beach, Snoop. So that's what he means by like that. I think he had a group called the East Siders.
The East Siders, yeah. That was about Trady, Goldilocks, yeah.
Were you familiar with any of them?
Yeah. Grew up in like Trady was like, you know, I was affiliated with the Insane, so like Trady is like one of the OGs of the Insanes, you know.
Okay.
Goldilocks is like from 20s, you know what I mean? And Long Beach is so small, I got family on both sides.
Okay. So something I've been always curious about when it comes to the gang thing, right? Like, from the outside looking in, I was always curious, like, if you know what the actual result of that lifestyle 9 times out of 10 can lead to, like, how do you still choose to put yourself in it? Like, what's the mentality behind that choice to kind of get involved in it?
I see it like I was telling you about the following gene, and then you have like the older, what we would call like G homies would be like glorifying it. So you'll see them riding around in nice cars and having like a magnetic influence over the surroundings, and people respected them or feared them, you know what I mean? And a lot of people like that, you know what I mean? Like a lot of the youth would kind of gravitate to that.
Okay. So for those who don't know, break down, like, I know Long Beach is close to Compton. Um, all of these areas are pretty close to each other, right? Like, what is it like a young black kid during, what, say the 80s, 90s, right?
Mm-hmm.
Could he even, say, venture out into Compton or venture out into the west side of Long Beach, or you know what I mean? Like what was life like? Was it almost like you felt like you couldn't really leave your community?
Like when it came to the gang life, it depends on how tapped in you were. You know what I mean? Like, but outside of Long Beach, like, you know, you got east side, west side, and the north side. But it was like fused amongst the different parts of the city. But like me growing up, like I seen it like going outside of Long Beach was like the unknown.
So it was kind of like I don't want to say a fear, but it was just unknown. So it was probably like some discomfort.
And then also a lot of people didn't like Long Beach is their own, like it's their own little group of people, you know what I mean? So it's like a lot of people didn't. So I could break it down even deeper than that. Like Long Beach is a city full of all Crips. So when you go to Compton, you got Bloods. You go to LA, you got Bloods, and all these other cities, you got Bloods. So off the bat, it's like you a Crip. You know what I mean? So it's like you got to kind of watch where you go.
Okay, so one major question I always had was, because I've heard these stories, but I've never really built with anyone that can confirm it. How real is the I guess separation between, say, family members? Say like you have a family member who grew up, I don't know, 5 blocks this way, and that over that way is a different gang, and then you grew up over here and you're in a different gang. Did the gang kind of take precedence over you being related? Like, as far as like you can't really mess with each other as much as you might have, say, when you were younger or not affiliated with gang?
I don't see it in the family setting, but like friends, yeah.
Friends. Okay.
I seen, like, you know, I grew up with a lot of people like going through like middle school and high school. By the time we got to high school, like it's like you picking your poison. You know what I mean? Which direction you gonna go? Either, you know, and on the east side it was like insanes and 20s. So like growing up, it was a lot of like crews, and it got to a point to where those crews were forced to pick one of the bigger gangs.
Wow. So, do you have any like personal stories of like people you might have been close with that, based on their choices, that relationship kind of fizzled out?
Yeah, somewhat. Like I had a few buddies that I went to like high school with, and then went to high school with, and me being affiliated with a certain group, we were buddies, and then like we got a little older, and then I'm like, man, you over there now? Like, that's crazy. Like, no hard feelings, but you already know what come with that. You know what I mean? Like, we cool to a certain point, but you know, like the people I hang with really don't probably deal with the people you hang with. So to keep that neutral like that, I kind of like backed off.
Okay, so have you ever had like any run-ins in the streets with friends, or old friends, or old associates?
One that comes to mind is I had a buddy that was from the west side. Like my whole family from the east side, right? And we happened to get off the school bus by Long Beach Poly, which is like where the homies, like the insanes or the 20s would be, you know what I'm saying? And I guess when we got off the bus, one of my buddies that was from the west, the guy that I was with from the west side, one of his buddies was getting jumped or beat up on. And I'm telling him, don't go over there. Like, I'm telling you, like, you cool because you with me right now. Like, you know what I mean? We good. Let's just, like, I don't know what he got into over there, but, like, you might want to just let him, you know what I mean? Like, straw that out. Like, he like, nah, I can't do it. Like, so he went over there. And one of my buddies just went to work on him, man. Like, they was jumping off of brick walls on him and all kind of stuff. Yeah, I'll never forget it. But I was like, I told him, you know what I'm saying? Like, I told him he was cool with me. But, you know, that loyalty, I guess, led him to that. Was a part of his destruction that day.
Damn. So, how did that affect you and his relationship after that?
We were still cool at school.
Only at school.
Yeah, because, you know, like, I always had a mind, like, you know, you do one crazy thing around me once. That's kind of it with me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it could get worse from there, so I'm cool.
Yeah, okay. Alright. So you've already kind of built on this, but, you know, the magnetism of gangs. What is it about gangs that's so magnetic? I remember being a kid. I grew up in a place where there's no gangs, right? But I remember seeing this show on HBO. It was like a little documentary called Banging in Little Rock.
Yeah.
You seen it?
I've seen that before, yeah.
Now, watching it, I was like, this is crazy, but there was something about it that I just couldn't turn it off. I don't know what it was about it. So I think there is a magnetism to it, but I've never been able to really put my finger on what it is. Do you have any thoughts on what it might be?
Just like, man, that dude really living like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, he really getting away with that? Like, the stuff that I'm hearing, like people really be out here doing that? Like, yeah, man. Me, I'm seeing it. You know what I'm saying? I'm seeing it, like people walking around with guns, shooting them like they in Iraq somewhere and stuff like that, and come right back out and we just hanging out like it ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like damn, that's crazy.
So for some people, that just seeing that, it's almost like the lawlessness of it, and almost maybe a thought of like invincibility to a sense. It's like attractive.
Yeah, you're not really thinking about no consequence. You know what I mean? Because it don't look like he's thinking about no consequence when he's doing what he's doing. So it's like a lot of the kids be like, how could I be like that? I want to be respected like that. I want that. Like,
okay. How much of you know, we grew up in, like I said, the 80s and 90s, and a lot of movies came out during that time. Scarfaces and Scarface came out maybe earlier than that, but it was big during that era. Scarfaces, Terminators, Boys in the Hood, Menace Society. How much of these movies were influential in? So
you gotta think, like, the Menace Society, they had parts of Long Beach in that. Like, it was like a scene, I think, when his cousin got killed, and I think that was in Long Beach.
Oh, at the stoplight?
Yeah. So, like, that's how I was seeing it. Like, that's what I was seeing. Like, that behavior.
Would you say that movie is the like most realist depiction of what the lifestyle was like?
Yeah, between Boys and Hood and that, yeah, like that was how active it was. That's what I remember.
Okay. So, so the movies. Do you think the movies were like influential for some to maybe want to like get involved in that lifestyle, or they was already in it regardless?
I think they was already seeing that.
Regardless.
Like, if you was around, you was seeing that. Like, you knew somebody. You knew an old dog for sure. You get what I'm saying? You knew a Kane, you knew an O-Dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. All right. So let's get into your. You worked with Snoop for a while, right?
My brother had got me in, and I did like a couple events with him.
Okay. As a like what is?
Security, like.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your brother had was he like just a security guard, or he was just friends with someone and was like, okay, I'll be your security?
I don't know what made him start to do that, but my brother is very talented in like the music and stuff, like making beats and play any instrument by ear, like, so turntables and things like that. He then did a couple like scratches on a couple of Snoop like people that was from Doggy Style Records that on their albums. He did a couple of like scratches and stuff like that, which I don't understand why he didn't really display all of his talents to them, but I guess that was just good enough. But yeah, he I don't know how he like gravitated to the being security, but he ended up being a security and he got me in.
Okay. So you were a part of like one of the most significant events during that time, right? As far as the infamous BET Awards with Suge made the statement, if you don't want to, what do you say? If you don't want someone all in the video.
I think it was. I don't know if it was the MTV or BET Award. That was when all the Snoop security had got arrested. It was here in LA, and what was it? I think it was the BET Awards. It was like a BET Awards, yeah. But this is around the time when Snoop did like his murder trial. Like he had caught the case like that, and
so this was before. This was like before Death Row was even messing with Tupac, right? This was like way before that, right? So
yeah.
Barely just.
Yeah, it was a little before, I think, yeah. And I think Snoop was trying to get away from Death Row at that time.
Okay. So tell us about that event that happened with the you got stuck in the car.
So we was all in I remember it was a bulletproof Hummer or whatever, and he used it to get into the awards. So we drove up, Snoop gets out, and his main security get out with him. I say majority of the security got out the car. I stayed in because I was just waiting for him to get back out, and we were gonna leave. And as soon as he gets out and we drive up like halfway up the block, I seen ATF, the sheriffs, and the feds was like pointing like shotguns at the tires of the car and trying to like put the shotgun in the hole of the car like that. I'm like, what's going on? So I ended up pulling it over, pulling me and a couple other security out that was still in there, and I remember they made like a little spectacle of us, and they had us in zip ties. And I remember hearing Suge over the radio telling them, I know he came up here for like to start a problem and things like that. And remember they waited for the news to come, and then they walked me out, like right in front of like on camera and stuff. So I was like actually on the news and stuff. That's crazy.
So when you mentioned Sugar, you said you knew. He said he knew. What did he say? He said he knew
that they was coming up here to like have a problem, basically. Like start something.
That's talking about the ATF and all that?
No, talking about Snoop and the security and stuff, because when they pulled me out and stuff, like a lot of the security left their guns in there. So like they start pulling guns out and stuff like that, and a lot of us wasn't supposed to be around that, you know what I mean? So they were trying to figure out a way that they could charge us with certain things, but they couldn't. They didn't end up charging me with nothing. But I had a warrant.
Oh wow.
And me and another person, I think another one was on parole, and a couple other ones. So, but it's crazy because all the security guards end up coming back in the station where we was at and picking their guns up.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Were they registered guns?
I guess they were registered.
Oh.
But at that time, I think Snoop was a felon, so he wasn't supposed to be around felons.
Right. Or be around guns.
Guns or none of that, yeah, like, so. So they end up making him get, like, real security.
So then that was kind of like the last.
That was like the last draw that was it for me. That's all I needed to be a part. That was cool. That was too much for me.
So what was Snoop really like during that time? Did you get to really like build with him at all and just really see like what his real personality was like?
Yeah, I kind of did. I seen how he was. There's a lot of questionable things to me, from my perspective. Yeah. As
far as just like how he treated people, or?
I mean, I see it like I'm different. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just wondering, like, if you from 20s and stuff like that, then why you don't have your homies being the security?
Okay,
so I didn't understand that part of it. You know what I mean? So it was like you had Insanes as your security, which Long Beach is just a big family, though. You know what I mean? But I feel like me, I always think like if you could do this right here, then you can squash a lot of the beef that's in Long Beach.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like, what's going on here?
That's deep. So, do you really think that he was that deep into the 20s and the gang life, or he was just kind of adjacent to it? Or it's hard to say, really.
I mean, he tapped in due to, that's where his upbringing is, but like I was in them trenches, like, so I'm like seeing things take place, and he could be up in the hills and things like that, you know what I mean? But I don't think he ever really had to go through the things that I was seeing.
Cause shoot, when he got his record deal, he was what? Maybe like early 20s, right?
Yeah.
So, no, okay.
Not to knock him or nothing like that, but what I was seeing, is like, you already had a little path for you, you know what I mean? And the people that I was seeing, they didn't really have that, so.
Yeah. Okay. So, as far as Suge, did you really like spend any time around him?
I never got a chance to be around him. My brothers went to like Death Row, and they told me they seen him and things like that. But me personally, no.
Okay, because he was a blood, right?
Yeah.
So how was that like? The interactions with your brothers and him being a blood?
I remember my brother, one little incident, my brother told me they went up there and they asked about where Snoop was. And it was like a room full of bloods, and they was like, nigga, Snoop ain't in here. Like, it was like, yeah.
That's funny. Alright. That's interesting. Alright, so what age was this whole situation with the security and all that? How old were you at that time?
I said I was like 28.
Oh, 28.
30, or between 28 32.
Had you already started doing the MMA and the...
Nah, I never did, no.
Wow, okay, so...
So it had to be like 28 because I started MMA at 30.
Wow, that's a late start.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Alright, so during this whole time, was there like a voice in the back of your head or a feeling within you that always said like, it's gotta be more, I want more for myself? Or were you just kind of going through the motions?
One of my buddies that was from Long Beach, he seen that I started being a lot like kind of reckless, and he came and grabbed me up. He had love for my older brothers. He grew up with them, and he said that he seen that I was about to self-destruct. So you know, you got different types of groups of things that like a bangers. You know, you got your militant guys, you got your money guys, hustlers, and things like that. So you usually got the people that are just in the hood. But
what's the distinguishing characteristics of each? So the militant guy, well, what's
like he in the hood banging?
Is he like living by a certain code? Like I gotta do this a certain way, no matter.
Like he out there pushing the line. You know what I mean? He pushing the line. Like he's yeah, he just pushing the line. You know what I mean? Like and any types of wars and that front line in it. You know what I mean? Like anything that's going on, they just represent the set. Like,
do you notice that the difference between the people who fall into different categories is related to like maybe like the difficulty of say their parents' relationship or like how they came up or like for example like the militant guy, maybe he witnessed a lot of abuse or maybe
I seen different types. Like some of them, their parents was in it like that, and then some of them didn't have like a father, and it was just the mother. You know what I mean? And then others was just probably just turned out. Like probably got tired of, you know, probably used to always get beat up, and that was it. That's all it took. Like.
So who generally would fall into, so like all of the things you just named, they could end up being the militant type?
In the line pushers, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Now, with the militant type, and you mentioned that family members could have been in it. Do you feel like they pushed the line to almost to a sense of like I have to show that I'm really like that to the people who came before me because they were really like that? Like they have to make a name for themselves because of who their parents might have been,
or who they're named under. You know what I mean?
Okay, explain the names because I know there's like a heavy relationship between names and all that. Right?
Like, you know, you got foundational names. Like, I ain't gonna put them all out there, but like you have like foundational names from every set of things like that. And yeah, you have to live up to those names.
Okay, so like say you're part of a set and we'll just make up a name like I don't even know.
Say get them up or something.
Yeah.
Like,
okay, so like if one person was named that and they say might have been a militant type and they created they have a lot of history, things that they've done. Now you come along, how do you get named like little such and such?
Like your relationship with that person.
Oh, so say if you're like related to him?
No, like just like what type of relationship you have with him. Like y'all was cool, and he liked some type of characteristic in you, and he's like, man, you be my little homie.
Okay.
Like, you know what I mean?
You might be little hit him up or something after that, and then okay, boom, and then now that probably puts pressure on you because it's like now I gotta live up to this name that I got put on me.
Yeah, but then I looked at it like I never wanted no little homies because I knew that whatever they did or whatever I did could fall on them, and whatever they did, it was on me. Like to either straighten it out or I just didn't. I want to be a bad influence, you know.
So in the midst of all of the chaos and things that was happening, you still had that sense of like humanity in you, in the sense of like caring.
Yeah, for my loved ones.
Okay. Is that
like
something that
close friends?
Amongst everyone, or
like I grew up and it was like family. Like, you know, a lot of it was like family. You didn't really have too many outsiders. Like either you grew up in Long Beach, raised in Long Beach, your family from Long Beach. Like it was like that. It's getting a little watered down now. Like, you know, a lot of these people, you probably don't really know where they're from. Like it could be from Santa Monica or somewhere like that, and they just found out that this was like, you know, insane. They had a good name, big name, so I want to be a part of that. Like, you know what I mean?
I didn't see hip hop artists. Like, you know, like I know, like for example, like Lil Wayne and these type of guys, like they weren't involved in any of the gang stuff, and then all of a sudden they've already become successful. Now they want to be a blood, or they want to be this, or they want to be that. Do you think that's where that started? Where it's like I can kind of buy my way into
That's how I see it. Like a protection type thing. You know what I mean? Let me fake the funk, or let me get this group of homies right here, then nobody will mess with me type thing. Like that's how I seen it.
So is it almost like, because I was always curious, like why would, if you're already successful, why would you want to involve or affiliate yourself with that stuff? But now that you're expressing it to me, I'm thinking like, it sounds like it's a protection thing. Like if I have this status of people behind me, then I have a little bit of protection when I go from city to city. I go in these environments to do shows or do this. I
have a well-known group of people behind me. Then people ain't gonna mess with me. You know what I'm saying?
That's deep. Okay, that makes sense now. Because I always wonder, like, man, well, you already made it. Why would you?
So like when you hear like Big U, that he had a lot to do with a lot of these rappers and stuff when they came out to Cali and stuff like that. They come get his backing, you know what I mean? Because that's that's like a big gang out here in Cali. You know what I mean? Oh, he got the 60s behind him. Ooh, they not gonna mess with him. Like,
that's deep. Okay.
That's how I feel.
That's interesting. All right. So you were explaining about your friends seeing that you were pretty much going down a path of just.
Oh yeah. So he said either, you know, he seen me either dead or in jail. So what he did was he introduced me to the out of town life.
So was this a friend that was in the lifestyle with you?
Yeah, he was in the lifestyle. He was really big with it, and so he used his experience and his knowledge to pull me out. You know what I mean? Like he got love for my brother. Yeah.
So explain the out of town lifestyle. Like, what does that really entail?
You know, like making money, like hustling out of town, basically. Like me, I seen it like, you know, I don't have to wake up and see these same stop signs and stoplights every day. You know what I mean? It's more to this. Like Long Beach is just Long Beach. You know what I mean? Like, what about going to New York, Kentucky, Louisiana, like Texas? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I started seeing the world and I started traveling.
Yeah. So what did it do? What did that do to you? Like, what was the first place you went to? Do you remember?
Spokane, Washington.
Wow, random.
Yeah, went to Spokane, Washington. That was like a little hustle spot.
What was was it like a culture shock out there?
No, that was just my first get out of the area type thing. You know what I mean?
Going there, like, was it like, you know, did you see cows? What was? I don't know any.
No, it was just snowing.
Oh,
it was snowing, like, yeah.
That's your first time seeing snow?
Like, really being in it like that, yeah.
Okay. So you started doing the out of town lifestyle thing. At what point did you start to see that you wanted something more for yourself? He saw it in you, or he cared about you and was trying to.
The first time I came back with some money.
You came back with some money?
Yeah, I already kind of like, yeah, when I came back with some money, I was like, dang, it's like this could change a lot. Like the things that I'm trying to do with my mouth, I could show and prove to people like it's more out there. You know what I mean?
When you say what things you're trying to do with your mouth, what do you mean?
Like, you know, I always been different, like I told you. Like, so I was always trying to get people out of that stuck mode, like that mentally dead world. Like, bro, this ain't really doing nothing for you like that. But me, I guess I was a hypocrite because I was out there doing it. You know what I mean? So it's like, but me, my reason for doing it was I had a chip on my shoulder. You know, I grew up without a father. You know what I mean? So it was just like, that was a lot of pain that I had in myself. And that was where I could go amongst other people and feel normal and let this pain out. Like, you know what I mean? So a lot of people didn't have that. They had mothers and fathers and things like that, but they were just being around people because they thought that they were tough or things like that. And I
wanted to prove themselves.
Yeah, so I was always that person like, hey, bro, you don't got to do this. Like, and I was trying to tell him, but like I said, I guess I was a hypocrite.
Damn, that's deep. So now that you got knowledge of self, I'm pretty sure you can see like the signs of wisdom. Wisdom is also, words, but also actions.
Yeah.
And actions are really more influential than words. And,
for sure.
You can say something all day, but with your actions, whatever your actions are, that's what people are going to be affected.
That's what they mean. That's your character. Yeah. Characterize you by,
Okay, so you mentioned your pops. Well, I mean, if you're comfortable building about it, like, what was your physical degree when he returned?
He died the year I was born.
Oh, so you never even got to meet him?
I mean, nah.
Wow. So growing up as a kid, like, what was it like in your head? Like what were some of the thoughts that you would have? Like, damn, like,
you gotta think, like, I'm seeing my brother and sister. I'm seeing my oldest brother, he got a dad. But me and my middle, like, the brother that's like right over me and him had the same dad. So it's like, I'm seeing my friends with dads. I'm going to football games and dads and moms are there. You get what I'm saying? So like, and all I could do was ask questions, and then the answers I got was all I had. I remember your dad. How your dad was this. So that was just all I had was just regurgitated memories.
Based on those memories, like, what type of man was your dad?
My mom was a powerful, strong woman. So for her to, I would say, be receptive of my father, he had to be a very strong man. And she always, to this day, she always tell me how great of a man he was.
Wow. So he must have been great because,
Then my aunties, like his sisters, they had like a little thread. Like a couple years back, my cousin had sent me the thread, and the way that they described him, like how, like, he was a family man, like loving person, protector, like, and they always telling me that I remind them of him. Like, so like he had to be a great man.
Okay. Wow. So you were basically trying to find your way and deal with the pain of not really having that foundation there. And you know, the gang lifestyle became an outlet for that pain for you for a lot of the years that you were dealing with that.
Yeah.
You do the out of town thing that opened you up to a different world.
Seeing the world.
Now, what was the next step where you start to leave the gang lifestyle alone?
So they did like an injunction in Long Beach to where we call them sweeps, and they was like taking people to jail, and it was like 10 years or better. And I had got 2 letters in the mail, like that they had my phone tapped.
So they tell you when your phone's tapped?
They got to.
Oh, I didn't know that. Damn. Okay.
Yeah, so like they was like, you know, your phone was tapped from this time to this time.
Oh, they tell you after.
Yeah, after the fact. Yeah. Yeah. So that was spooky. That was like the moment I was like, yeah, it might be over for me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, my mom was like, yeah, you doing stuff, like, you get, like, she opened my mail and she read it. And she kind of like got on me. I was already nervous though, because I already had 1 letter already. Something like that.
Right here.
This is the like 27.
27.
26, 27. And they came and did like a big sweep, and like everybody that I was surrounded by was caught in that sweep. Like a lot of people that I was surrounded by was caught in that sweep. 10 years or better. So I like, yeah, it's time for me like to, you know, like separate myself from a lot of people. So I started to wing, like stretch out, and then that which drew me closer to my kids. And my kids ended up, my baby's mother ended up putting my kids in a MMA class. So I was like, you know, one day we were sitting in the car and they was walking, like a lot of people was walking in, like after my kids' class. I mean, my kids were in the class, but actual pro fighters was walking in, and I was looking at their side. You know, I grew up like fighting all my life. So I'm looking at the fighters come in, I'm like, man, I could beat him up, like, yeah, you know what I mean? Not having a knowledge of all that, just thinking like a, you know, brute, a tough guy. I said, man, I'm gonna go up in there tonight. I'm gonna go into that class. And my first time, I went into the class, and the coach told me, he like I'm like, you know, bodybuilding at that time. So I was like 200.
Oh, wow.
Like 200 pounds. He was like, yeah, you're gonna be a good 45er. I'm like, 45? Nah, you crazy. I'll never make that. He was like, nah, you a 45er. Like 145 pounds. I'm like, man, that's crazy. So he put me up against a guy named Goomba. He was a 135er.
So you're 200, he's 135.
Yeah. So me and him started going. It was like, he like touched me up, like choked me out, all kind of stuff. Like had me. He choked me. It was like 3-minute rounds. He choked me out like 5 times. Like I couldn't do nothing with him at all. Like, so my pride. Like I went home. I never forget that. And I was just thinking, like, dang, like if we was on the streets, that dude would have probably killed me. Like, you know what I mean? If nobody was there, like, he had me, like, and I ain't never experienced that. So I was like, nah. So that drew me into, I gotta learn that. So I'm gonna go in there every day with him. Like, me and him, he gonna teach me, and like, and I started getting in there, and then it got to a point to where he couldn't do it no more.
Like I fell in love with it, or
that's when I fell in love with it. I fell in love with it then. And I had my first fight within a month of me training. So then I went to a champion from there. Like I became a champion, and I just fell in love with it. That was it. That was my way out. So now I could put that energy. I mean, yeah, I could put that energy into something else. You know what I mean?
So what did that whole experience do for you as far as like changing your whole perspective on life?
This made me look at things from a different perspective. Like, that just really solidified it. Like, the way that we thinking in this hood, with this hood mentality, like that, like we naive. You know what I mean? We thinking we can go around and like we just do everything. You know what I mean? And this guy that did that was a little white guy. You know what I mean? So that's somebody that we probably would have tried to like bully or something like that, and he would have damn near dismantled us. You know what I mean? So it was like, that was when I figured it out. Like, yeah, I want to learn this so I could teach this to the people that don't know it. Like, you know what I mean? Because these kids right here are getting taught by those people down there with all that pride. So one of them was gonna run into a Goomba or something like that, and it might not be right and exact for him. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, that's dope.
So that was my journey. That started my journey right there.
So you started pro fighting at 30, you said?
Literally at 30, yeah. That was my first pro fight. I was 30.
Wow. So what's the average age that people start?
Like 22.
So did you
19? Like Aaron Pico, I think he had a contract with Bellator before he was an adult. You know what I mean? So I was like, damn, if I would have started around that time, and I was able to utilize that energy that I was putting out there and here like that, I'd be a grand champion somewhere.
Because you became a champion, you said, right?
Yeah.
So, damn, that's crazy. So how you started at 30 and then you became champion at what age?
That was within the same, like, I said within a year.
Damn, that's crazy.
So I was fighting like every other month. Every month, like, yeah, so I said like a year.
So being that you were older, you felt like you were just moving faster as far as like, okay, like I don't have time to waste.
No, I wasn't even thinking of that. I never, even now I don't think about my age, you know what I mean? Like, I always took care of myself. I always took care of myself. I always try to stay as healthy as possible. Always stay physically fit. So, I just wanted, like where I came from, this wasn't nothing. It's referees and this thing like that. So I want to fight as much as I could. You know what I mean? I was just trying to gain as much experience as I could.
Is that just your personality when you fall in love with something, you just engulf yourself in it, where you want to learn every little thing you can about it?
I don't like starting nothing unless I want to get to the top, like the highest point of it, like whatever it may be. You know what I mean?
That's dope. All right, so you did the fighting thing. Let me see. You became a champion. Were there ever any situations where, okay, I got this new lifestyle, this is me now, but you still might have dabbled back in that world, where you might have got pulled back into that world for whatever?
No, when I got that letter, that was confirmation that there ain't no straddling no fences. You know what I mean? And I always felt that I got a pass. And I know that if I just pay attention to everything. Like, yeah, like movies, in the movie, they know that person gonna go back to that time, go back to his old ways, and that's when they gonna get him.
So they probably figured Well, we don't have to get him yet. We'll get him later because
he gonna be back to his nonsense.
Man,
that's how I always thought, God. Like, yeah, I got a pass. Like, like I'm telling you, like everybody around me was getting cuffed.
10 or better, huh?
10. One of my buddies did like 20, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I got little cousins. I got a little cousin that did, I think it was 18 years. Got another little buddy that did like 18 years. My other cousin did 14. So I'm paying attention. I'm like, man, like me, 14 years after, from now to 14 years, like, you know, I got kids, like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, just imagine me going for 14 years. My kids gonna respect me anymore?
Yeah.
Like, see, I used to think, man, like, yeah, I can't afford it.
Right. Okay. So, how long did you fight for? Like, how many years?
So, I say from 30 to like 42.
Oh, 12. Damn. Okay. What are, I know you got some stories with the whole MMA lifestyle. Like, what are some things that you can remember that you could share that, you know, are interesting or, you know?
Like a lot of, like, first of all, I could say that a lot of the people that I used to pay on pay-per-view and things like that, I trained with them.
Oh,
so that was big, yeah. And then
name the names or?
Chuck Liddell, Rampage, Chicago, Cisco Rivera. That's a couple more, but I've been in the room with them, like, you know what I mean? Like, I was able to have that great experience with them. Like I say, whatever I do, I want to get to the highest point of it.
So, what out of all those guys you named, who would you say is like the best that you went against?
Like a person that I admired his style was Rampage.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that striking.
Stand up is crazy. Right?
Yeah, like knocking stuff out. Like that was like my Chuck Liddell too. That was like those two are like my favorite fighters ever.
Okay, so you were like more of a stand up guy, or?
Yeah, stand up, okay. Sprawl and brawl and stand up.
Wow. Okay. You mentioned I just saw he just had a unanimous decision. AJ McKee.
AJ McKee, yeah. I was in his corner for at least 6 to 7 fights.
Oh, you trained him?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. How did that come about?
His dad was my coach, so I remember AJ since I got videos with AJ like a little boy, like walking through my videos and stuff.
The coach that was in here that day?
That's his dad.
That said you're gonna be 145?
No.
Oh,
that was Tracy, but him they were real close. But Antonio McKee is I started to train I started with Tracy, then I started training with Antonio McKee, which they was all in the same gym.
Okay.
But you know, like Antonio McKee had more of a pro-based group. And Tracy would build you up to that.
Okay. Wow. So you trained with him, and so you were basically developed a relationship with him, and then you saw the son grow up, and then you were in his corner.
And
were you in the corner when he fought against what's that little Pitbull?
So I helped him with that whole little camp, and then they ended up putting somebody else in the corner at that time.
Wow. That's the dirty part of fight life, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I just had to talk with him over after this fight, before this fight. I just had to talk with his dad.
Oh yeah? You were able to clear things up, or?
Where I'm at now, like, you know, I let things be, you know what I mean? Like, you know, accountability is everything to me. So if you can't do that like that, and we too old to be lying and stuff, you know what I mean? So like, I mean, I let you be. It is what it is. But I just brought it across, you know, I brought it to the table and let them know that I realized certain things and how I felt about them. But, you know, I made peace with it.
Yeah. Okay. That's powerful. Be able to be mature like that. All right. All right. So, what's your physical degree now?
Culture power.
Okay. So you said 42. You stopped fighting, right?
Yeah.
After. So to me, it sounds like fighting filled the void of the gang lifestyle, right?
Remember that chip on the shoulder and all that stuff, like the pain and all like that. That was.
You were able to do that with the MMA.
Mm-hmm.
Now, hanging up the gloves, what in the back of your head, like, what are the thoughts you're having? Like, damn, what am I gonna do to fill that void now?
Now I just focus on the kids and this knowledge. And I just focus in on the kids, make sure that, you know, like I just tap in with them and help them any way that I could to where they don't have to go through those type of things.
You know, so you were motivated in helping the youth even before you got knowledge of self.
Yeah.
Okay. Talk about your introduction to the 5%. Had you heard anything about the 5% as a child or a young man to any degree?
You know, through Wu-Tang, seeing little videos of people building on mathematics, and like I told you before, we built on Wu-Tang had Wu-Tang North, I think it was, Black Kings or whatever they were.
Black Knights.
Black Knights, yeah. And so that was like the closest thing that I got to it.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the closest thing. Besides videos and the Wu-Tang, basically, I should say.
Okay. And there was some type of attraction to it, like, but you just couldn't really put your finger on it at the point, or it was just like something was like whatever.
It was kind of a whatever. Like I always was, you know, coming from a religious background. Like, you know, you hear people say, "God, what's up, God? Peace, God." Like, so I couldn't really grasp where it was coming from. Like, I got a good understanding of it, but that was kind of like intriguing to me. Like, hey, God, yo, son, yo, God. Then I started putting it together, like, yo, son, like, yo, God, like, and then, you know, in certain religions, they were saying that the son is God, and so I was like, I couldn't really put my foot on it, like, but it was intriguing though.
Okay. In the closest thing to you prior to you actually building what real gods was, like the interaction with the Black Knights, or you said you met them, or you just?
I just was around them. I didn't really.
You just seen them around?
Seen them around and just, you know, examining everything that I'm around.
You didn't really have real interaction with them. You probably just did the knowledge from afar?
Yeah, from afar.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what was? You go from having that general curiosity to like want to actually learn about what the 5% is?
It was a calling, like literally, like you know, after my MMA or whatever, I really started tapping in with myself. All my life I was suffering from like stuffy nose and things like that. So I just started going through like cleanses and finding out herbs, like studying on herbs and doing things like that. And I put myself through like a little fast. And reading books. And I was training my buddy Brandon, his kids and things like that, and then I started training him. And I had brought one of the books to him. It was about like Reiki and all that type of healing and stuff like that. And he like, yeah, that's cool. And he gave me that. I think it was a 5% book. Like I can't remember.
Knowledge of Self.
Yeah, Knowledge of Self.
Okay.
And I just read it, and it just kind of like blew my cap. Like dang. So I started building more with him. And like I said, I already was doing the little kid thing. Then he was trying to link me up with the guy, like, but I still was in that world, like mentally, like that's your buddies, like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? And
you know what's funny about that is that he didn't tell me directly about you, like in the sense of like, okay, he might be someone that would want to learn. Like I've known Brandon for mad long, right?
Yeah.
But never ever he wanted me to meet anyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he never said, yo, there's someone I want to meet. Like never. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So for him to do that, he was trying to get me to meet you when I was doing the filming at that boxing event.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like that day, how he did it was he just bought us a ticket, and he was like, "You gonna come?" I'm like, "I come," but you know, like I fought in there before.
Oh, is that right?
So I'm like, "Yeah, I know what I said. I go." So he's like, "All right, you gonna drive me? You drive me up there."
Yeah.
So when we get up there, I'm just like, you know, I'm like, he really trying to get me to see somebody, like, but
because that's not him, like that.
Yeah. So I'm like, I didn't want to mess it up for him. You know what I mean? Like give a bad impression or something like that. But I knew a lot of the other fighters that was in there, and I knew the matchmaker of that day. I actually trained with him, and so when he went to go talk to you, I kind of I wanted to go, but then I was like, nah, like that's his buddies. Like then
He told you like I was 5% or anything like that?
Nah, he didn't tell me nothing. But I think he was just trying to get us around each other so we could see each other, right?
Yeah, natural thing.
Yeah, and then I remember he was like, "I'm about to go over here real quick," and I said, "I'm going to the car." So I walked to the car, and I felt real bad, like that was probably disrespectful, like, you know what I mean? Like he trying to get me to like meet somebody or something like that, but you know, I just didn't have the confidence in myself, maybe, I don't know. But we ended up going home, and I could tell like he didn't feel like he felt like he felt.
Oh, he felt like he felt.
Like that's how I felt. Like he was trying to get us to meet.
Yeah.
But it didn't like work out like that at that moment. Yeah. So I'm like, I let that go, and then like I think like a week or so later, came here, and I was training him, and he had told me he's like he had my buddy. I told him that I'm gonna give you his number, and he told you that you could call him. So I sat on your number for a minute, like I sat on your number, and I ended up going like out of town. It was this book that I was reading. So I went out of town, and I was like, when I finish this book, I'm gonna call it.
You remember the book or not?
I think it was probably the Knowledge of Self. Yeah, so I finished that. And I said, yeah, I was like intrigued with knowledge of self now. So I'm like, I don't know if I asked you if I wanted to do knowledge of self. No, I said supreme mathematics, I think.
When we built for the first time?
I said, I text you and I said, I think I said I want to know knowledge of self.
Okay.
No, it was supreme mathematics. It was. Because I remember I had looked up some stuff and it was linked to, it was like a linkage. So I was like, I want to learn supreme mathematics. And he was like, yeah, you got to do it fast first. I'm like, I got it. All right. Like,
because you already been doing it.
Yeah, so I got that. And then he was like, get this book, The Father and the 5%.
Right. Was it Message of Black Man?
Nuh-uh.
Let me read that one.
Nuh-uh. I got that from
Oh yeah, no. It was the yeah. It was the
Allah and the 5%, right?
Yeah. Came out not too long ago with the different gods and Earth's actual
interactions
with the Father.
Yeah. So as I'm reading that book, I went to Texas and I'm reading that book. And all the stuff that the Father was doing, like I kind of could relate to it, what I was doing.
Yeah.
Like for the youth, like, that was the motivation right there. That was it. Like, yeah, I want to learn. I'm all in. Like,
yeah.
And then we built after that first time, and you asked me that question, told me to tell me about myself, and I felt like I disrespected you.
Well, talk about that though, because I'm pretty sure me asking that question, if it was like me, if I was in that old lifestyle that you were in, and I asked you that question, it probably would have been seen as disrespect, right?
No, it's just like me and where I was, like in my trust from a man. Like I didn't deal with like vulnerability, like, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So I felt like people learn you to play you. And then like I was thinking, I knew that you was smart, so I was like, I came from a barbaric, like at times and stuff like that. So it was like, he gonna learn me and this gonna play, like, me just not being comfortable with myself.
So what was the question that I asked?
You asked me to tell me about myself.
Yeah.
And I just I got smart. I'll never forget like what you mean? Like in my head, I'm thinking I asked this man to teach me knowledge of self. He asked me about my and then the way that you broke it down, like so sincere, was like, hey man, like you smiled, like you laughed. I never that. Cause the way that I articulated what I said, you could tell that I was like attitude-ish.
Yeah.
So he was like, hey man, like the only reason why I'm asking you is that so I can know how to teach you. And when you said that right there, just like all my whole wall just broke down. Like dang, this man, like I've never been in that situation to where someone wanted to teach me anything. Remember I was telling you I used to always try to teach the kids. So like when you hit me with my I was receptive to that. Like, dang, that's crazy. Like, how am I asking a man to teach me something, right? And he asked me a question, and I can't even answer the question.
That's deep.
Like, yeah, I'm rude, man. Like, it broke me all the way down. Like, that's like, then I started thinking, like, damn, somebody came to me and asked me for something, and they acted like that. I wouldn't even deal with them. But the way that he responded to my ignorance, yeah, he the truth. Like, that's the truth. Like, that was the best way that, like, for me right there, man, that was the best way. That was the best response ever. Like, that opened me all the way up to this wanting to learn and all that. Like,
yeah, I think for me it was, I just did the knowledge here. I could tell you was in a space where you might have not known what the next steps in your life was really gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
you knew you was trying to help the kids, and that was a main focus of yours, but you still needed something else.
Yeah.
And you was dealing with something, you know, I could tell. So I was like, okay. And I'm not the type that if someone comes at me with a certain energy, I'm gonna meet them with that same energy.
Yeah.
Unless it has to be that way, you know what I mean?
If it continues, like continuous.
Yeah, but if I have an understanding of where a person might be mentally, then I'll, you know, try to meet them with the energy that will help them like calm down and hear what I'm actually trying to express, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So from you, like I said, I could tell, like, okay. And then what Brandon was telling me about you, like, yo, you know, he's a good brother, but you know, he's going through some things, and you know what I mean. So I was just like, okay, you know, let me take my time. But after that, it was pretty much peace. After that, we hit the ground running, and you know, you locked in on your studies, and you know, it was pretty easy for me. Like, you know, I'm the type of brother, like, shoot, when I got it from, you know, when Life was sharing the knowledge with me, it was similar to how me and you interacted. Like, it wasn't like he had to be on top of me, like, yo, what's going on? Hi. Yeah. You know, he would just, he actually gave me the whole book, like a whole 120. And was like, you know what I mean? Hands off. He would hit me like every couple of days, or like once a week or whatever. But I guess from his perspective, he's like, you old, because I got it when I was like about Wisdom Bill years old. So that's considered old in the nation, right? So he probably looked at it like, you a grown man already. Like, I don't need to hold your hand. So I'm gonna give you these degrees and see what you do with it. It's up to you whether you lock in on it or not. So when we built, that's the approach I was gonna take with you, because like you're older man. You know, you've been on your own. You have children. Like,
yeah,
I shouldn't have to be pushing you to learn this stuff. So once I saw that you were self-motivated like that, that made me really want to lock in more, because there's so many people that come and say, yeah, I want this, get that, and then they can't get through the fast.
Yeah, see,
I mean, can't get through the fast, and now you want, it ain't gonna work. So like, I applaud you for you know, being steadfast in that. But I like, the main thing I want to say is like, man, I done seen a 180 change, like, you know, I mean, like night and day from who you are
to where I was,
were then to who you are now. It's a beautiful thing to see. So
yeah,
you know, definitely want to say I'm proud to see that.
Honored by the God, man. I was honored to be able to be talk, you know, for you to pass that knowledge on to me, man.
Yeah, like I said, you know, the way things worked out, I can't even. It was almost like they came in a place like they should have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We never really butted heads, and there was never really any issues. You know, outside of that one moment. All right, let me see. So since you've knowledge 120, and like what is that feeling? First, initially, what was the feeling like knowledge in 120? We'll start there.
You remember that day I had a knot in my stomach.
What'd you say when we got? What'd you say, man? My stomach was hurting.
Yeah.
Bubble guts was like.
No, I wasn't even bubble gut. It just like my stomach just
locked up.
Yeah, like it was like a. I don't know. I can't even explain it, guy. Like this was something that I wanted all my life. Like, you know what I mean? And then my body would. I don't know, it was just adjusting to it. Like, I don't know, it was just so much. Like, I think I was just overwhelmed by by that moment, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
You know, you got out there, you stood in your square, and you handled your business, and you know, you got that last degree. Like, what did it feel after getting that last degree? Like
That was man, I can't even describe that feeling. Like, it was. All I know is after I spit that, my stomach loosened up again. Like, you know, it was like I just felt the light. Like, I just felt like man, grateful, thankful, like honored. Like, you know what I mean, that you and the guy life like really took the time to do what y'all did for me, man. And it was because this is so powerful. So powerful, like, you know what I mean? And I know a lot of people in the culture like feel like, you know, when you're a certain age, you're too old for it and things like that. But I needed it.
Yeah. And with that statement, I always thought it was funny because Allah was in his 30s when he got it. Malcolm was in his 30s when he got it. Elijah was older when he got it. So these are some of the most profound, you know, brothers that we've ever seen. They were all older when they got it. So that whole, oh, you're too old to get it, I've never really adhered to that.
I can see why it could be kind of shaky, right? Because it is so powerful. And if it's put in the wrong hands, they can utilize it in the wrong way.
That's true. That's true.
So I see that too, though. But like, before that, I was doing the work. This taught me how to articulate and do things in a better manner, you know?
And that was part of another reason why I even wanted to take the time with you, because I saw how you cared about the kids. I saw you already had programs together for the kids.
Yeah.
And building with you, I saw that you are intelligent, but you weren't fully confident articulating yourself yet. So this was a perfect thing for you, because I stood in that same position. I was an athlete. I played football. I was, I remember in school, I was always, anytime we had to do like oral presentations or anything like that, that was like
shaking. Like, you were like, what is going on?
So communication and expressing myself was never really a strength of mine, but this allowed me to be able to do it and be confident in it and speak in a way that, was clear, concise, and I get my understanding across. So yeah. I knew, like, okay, boom, this is what he needs.
Yeah, and it just, living those mathematics, like, just helped me to help. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and it brought me that confidence that I was needed to be able to do the things that I need to do. You know what I mean? Like that confidence is very influential, you know what I mean? And it's magnetic to kids that don't have it. You know what I mean? So now I could look at the kids and be like, like teach them how to be confident.
Right. You see some of yourself
in them. Yeah.
When you were their age, and you can say, okay, I know what I needed back then.
I can give that to them right now. Yeah.
That's powerful. That's powerful. All right. Now, this is kind of a hard question, but let's go there. So out of all the degrees in 120, what degree would you say mostly is in tune with where you're at right now? If you could put it.
In the 1 through 40, I would say the knowledge born.
Knowledge born in 1 to 40.
What is the duty of a civilized man? No.
Civilized person.
As a civilized person. No, that's not it. If a civilized person does not perform his duty, what must be done? If a civilized person does not perform his duty, which is teaching civilization to others, he must be punished with a severe punishment. Right? Ezekiel 3:18. When I say to the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou giveth him not warning, but speaketh to warn the wicked from his wicked way to save his life. The same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require in thine hand. Ezekiel 12:47.
St. Luke.
No, St. Luke, I'm saying, yeah. St. Luke 12:47. And that servant who knew his Lord's will and prepared not himself, neither did according to his will, should be beaten with many stripes. So I see that, like, I know all the things that I know now, right? And if I don't walk these kids off talk them off of that ledge, then that's all on me now. And like I told you before, we built, and when I was living in that life, that world, I always was like influential, like the way I was moving, like my little cousins and my nephews and everybody looked up to me. And I feel like I left my cousin dry, left him hanging, like, you know, he ended up going to jail. And then by me living in that world, remember I was getting those letters and stuff, I wasn't answering his calls. Then he ended up dying in jail. Then another one, his sister, I was training her, and we kind of fell out a little bit, but she had went and got liposurgery. But I had her to where she was gonna start training with me. You know what I mean? Weren't thinking about no surgeries. We kind of fell out. She went and got another one and never woke up. So like, that one hit. That degree, that knowledge born hit.
Wow.
Like, so I felt like, you know, I got all these little kids that look up to me now. So I can't let them down.
What's going to them?
Yeah.
Be what essentially teach them to save themselves, be the savior for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
But at first, you're the savior for them, you know, because you're the one person that they can come to that's actually gonna make knowledge born to them, give them something real of substance that can give them a clarity that is different than anything else they're experiencing.
Yeah.
And without trying to take anything from them, you know.
No judgment, no nothing. Just wanting to see them be the best.
Right.
Their best.
Yeah. Man, that's powerful. Man, that's heavy.
Yeah, that's the one. Knowledge born.
Alright, we're almost done. What has been the hardest part of having knowledge of self now? As far as, you know, you still obviously have to live amongst your family, live amongst your friends, or people that you are associated with prior to a degree, right? Now that you have knowledge of self, what's been the most difficult part of that process?
Realizing that there's 85 within everything.
Break that down.
You know, like 85, the uncivilized, right? My family members, close friends, you know. Now I'm walking around like a mirror. So I'm showing them what they not. Now, who's the eyeball? Me. Because it's more of them than me.
Right.
You know what I mean? So watching people destroy themselves. Like, they literally see me go through the transformation, but they don't want to take the time because it's comfortable to be what they are.
And that probably hurts to see that, because you know, like, yo, you're just
And that's why I say you a powerful man too, because before I got really deep into these things, it's a lot of things that you used to tell me and I didn't really have a full understanding of it until now. Like, what did you say about Spider-Man?
With great power comes great responsibility.
You told me that a long time ago, but I couldn't resonate with it at that time. But now I see it. You know what I mean? Like, every day.
Right.
With those that are closest to me, even my kids sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard, you know, when people think that you know everything. It's not that you know everything, but you know what you've been through. And I'm sitting here watching you guys experiencing it. I'm trying to tell you guys so that you guys don't have to fully and be embedded in that. Like, but I don't want to hear it. Deaf, dumb, and blind, you know?
Yeah. Slaves from a mental death and power, you know? So, they're a slave to the truth as opposed to using the truth to their own benefit. You know what I mean? That's kind of a crazy position to be in when you know, like even with my own physical family, you know, you tell them things to look out for because you know something's about to happen. You know, I hear what you're saying, and then they go and do the other thing, and then they end up with a messed up result because of that. But like the scripture says, Ezekiel 3:18, when I say to the wicked, thou shalt surely die, thou give him no warning, speak to warn the wicked.
What's wicked?
Ways to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in iniquity, but his blood shall I require at thy hand. All you can do is make knowledge born. It's with them, it's up to them what they do with that information. You can't really force anyone to change.
Yeah, but like you know, and you watching it,
yeah.
You know,
it's hard.
I mean, it
hurts because you know, and you've told them time and time again, yo, do this, trust me, do this, it'll change your life, you won't have any issues, do this, and they do the other thing, and it's like, damn, if you would have listened, you wouldn't have had to deal with this, and that happens over and over again. But again, all you can do is make knowledge born. You really can't do anything else. You can't force anyone to change. You can't force anyone to listen to you. So, you know,
it's plant the seed, right?
That's it. That's all you can do. You know, some people, you know, like we deal with the 85%. Some would say that it's destroyed, or it's built or destroyed because you got certain people that you just won't be able to save. You got them destroy powers that no matter what you say to them, they're gonna be destructive to themselves and others. Then you got the build powers who you might be able to share a thing or two that may bring them down a different path. You know what I mean? So, you know, you have to be able to, I guess, identify the difference in those two, but also all you can really do is make knowledge born. There's nothing really else you can do besides that. So,
and like you know, I'm on a journey, I'm on a mission. So I'm having to leave that. You know what I mean? I gotta walk away from them people.
Yeah.
Cause they're not receptive to what I'm pushing out, you know what I mean? And I can't go back to that. I can't destroy myself.
Yes.
Cause you're not trying to build.
Listen, I understand a wisdom degree in the in 1 to 36, you know. I want to go back. The only country could not swim, not drown. You know, and then also with a mental and physical positive, real devil, 32 second degree and the 140. So once you identify your mental and physical powers, you can think about swimming at 9,000 miles. You can't swim 9,000 miles with somebody on your back. You're gonna drown.
Then you swim 9,000 miles. How are you gonna swim back 9,000 miles in reverse to see eye to eye with somebody that don't want to elevate themselves?
Well, that's the thing. Like I said, when you try to take on too much from people that don't want to swim, they want you to carry them. You're gonna drown yourself. You're gonna drown yourself. So you gotta be. Everyone gotta swim their own 9,000 miles.
And be willing to.
Be willing to. They gotta, but it starts with understanding the way, understanding the wisdom, understanding what you're expressing to them. They gotta take the time to do that. If they're not receptive to it, then they're gonna drown. But if you're too invested in trying to save them, you're gonna drown.
Drown right there with them.
Can't swim with all these people on your back. So
yeah, so
to come to a point where you become resolved with the fact that you won't be able to save everyone, and focus on those. Focus on the youth, of course. But focus on anyone who's really receptive to the change. Just like when you built what I built with you initially, you were receptive to change. If you're not receptive or open to change, then there's nothing really to discuss.
Waste of time.
If everything I express to you is an excuse on why you can't do it, there's nothing really to build about. 85% of the population is going to give you an excuse. Oh, it's too hard. Or, oh, my mama, I can't because of I don't know. You know, be around the people who respect what you say. Yeah, adhere to it. Because those are the ones that will do things that bear fruit. You know. You don't want to pour all your energy into the wrong people because that's just wasting energy.
Yeah.
You know, you want to pour that energy into the right people so that they can project that energy back to you and charge you back up. You know, end up drained, you know. So yeah, alright, let me see. Alright, so there's plenty of people who lived a street life or lived a difficult life or came from a similar environment that you might have came from, right? What are some that you want to share with them that could potentially help them, or something that if you were talking to yourself when you were back then, what was something that you would want to say to yourself?
Get out of that following mind state. Look, make sure, that's a big one to me too, like understanding what you see.